Now, I told y'all earlier that Nicki said she was going to come back, and y'all know Nicki be lying. She don't be coming back, but she came back, and I'm so glad she did. And I was like, I'm not really going to do a recap unless she says, something substantial. So this convo was way better than the one from earlier today. It's September 14th. So this is going to be part 2. And yeah, it was a lot going on. Nicki is still doing whatever she's doing, still with her team, still busy. You can hear that she was under the blow dryer. So she told us that was happening. And so she got straight into a Q&A session going on Twitter. She wanted us to trend hashtag big difference along with hashtag last time I saw you. And she would only answer questions with the correct hashtags. And so yeah, she talked more about the VMAs and the new song. And so she confirmed that Big Difference is not coming out tonight, being that today is Thursday. And yeah, someone had a good question but didn't use the hashtags. She also doesn't want to answer questions that she's been asked several times already. So definitely be mindful about the conversations that are happening and make sure you're following along and paying attention. So someone said your energy was mad different at the VMAs. You seem to be in an exciting place, and Nicki agreed with that. People asked, when are we getting Big Difference? And she said soon, but not tonight. She said, this is not Queen Radio. Someone asked a really good question. Did she have more skits planned for the VMAs? And she said, yes, there was one I had to cut out last minute. A lot was going on. And I don't know, I really kind of want to make a separate video on the VMAs and Nicki's hosting and my overall thoughts, but I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. So if you are, like, comment VMA in the comments so that I know, because I think we need to really discuss Nicki's hosting on there and everything that went on. So anyway, so then people asked her what was her reaction to the loud crowd while she was performing. And she said, I really couldn't hear anything because I had my in-ears in. And so she didn't know how the crowd was reacting or how loud they were until after her performances, when she watched it back and she heard the crowd yelling. She was like, oh, wow, I couldn't hear to that extent, so I didn't know that the energy felt like that. So someone asked her if she still gets nervous when performing. She says, of course. They said, Red Ruby the Sleeves hit so different live, and she agreed and said, thank you. She said, someone said how Big Difference become the song to preview. And she said, that's just what she wanted to preview. She does what she wants to do, and she said, okay, so someone asked a really good question, and let me go get it. Okay, got it. So the question was, how did it feel being on stage with both Slick Rick and Lil Wayne, seeing that they both hold a special place in your heart for specific reasons? Now, Nicki responded, amazing. During rehearsal, I almost cried while watching the screen by seeing Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. The entire performance was so iconic, and it was such a beautiful moment. She says, I wanted to be the fan. I would rather be the fan than to be on stage with them. Her introducing Amelie was so iconic. That's what she said. Looking back at it, and she said it was dope with the red light. So then someone asked, is there a feature on Big Difference? She said, no, I am always perfectly fine to just be Onika Tanya. But what's interesting is that it's a song I've had for many years. It's one of those songs that I recorded around the time I was pregnant. And then listening back recently, I realized it was able to stand the test of time. So I wonder, she said she listened back to it recently, and I wonder, if Big Difference was something she always thought was going to go on the album, or if she just recently listened to it again and she was like, let's do something with this. Let me know what y'all think, because she said that the song was able to stand the test of time. So I wonder what that means. Okay, so someone said something on Twitter about people being mad about Big Difference. So she said if they're mad, they're about to send themselves crazy because Pink Friday 2 is going to be crazy. She says sometimes we have to see the intention behind certain things. Sometimes it's to get attention, because there's no reason why people should be paid any attention, whether they give her a compliment, because you can just move on. So she doesn't want us addressing negative comments or even positive comments. If you see somebody being funny and doubling back, kind of like Asian Doll or whatever, just leave that girl alone, because they're looking for attention, looking for engagement or whatever. Whether or not they're genuine, it really doesn't matter, because it has nothing to do with us as humans, as individuals. They're complimenting Nicki. She's a public figure, and she can choose to publicly recognize that compliment or not. So please stop arguing with people. So then someone asked, how did it feel when Taylor Swift called you her favorite Sagittarius? And she said, when Taylor um, called her that, we laughed after that. And she was like, Taylor probably gets tired of me talking about being a Sag. Okay. So then someone asked about her favorite moment on the VMA. She said her favorite moment was performing Big Difference, and then Keisha singing at the end of Last Time I Saw You, and definitely being able to slay the pink carpet and winning an award that the Barbz voted for. Overall, it was a great time with good vibes. So then someone asked another good question. Did Papa Bear get to see her perform? And she said his father taped his reaction. He was in the dressing room, and Zeus said that he was looking surprised. So she's starting, or they think that what's his name, Papa Bear, is starting to like figure out certain things. Obviously he's only 3 years old. I think his birthday is soon, at the end of September. So Papa Bear is about to be 3 years old, but like obviously he doesn't know that his mom is Nicki Minaj yet, but like he's starting to put some things together. And he said that like he was looking very surprised during because he don't know exactly what's going on, but all he does know is that his mother was on that stage. So Nicki starts to talk about her first album, Pink Friday. Yeah. She says, I'll never forget when my first album came out, there was a writer who wrote something comparing me to Kesha, right? Like TikTok, right? And she said that, or that writer said that Nicki's album sounded like being on Oprah's couch, and we need to be having fun. And so they compared her to Kesha's album because they said it was so much fun. So Nicki was saying how it's interesting how people will speak on things with so much confidence because they don't see your vision as an artist. And then it's so interesting how publications will say something because of the mere fact that the person or people who they thought they were going to get up out of here, when they realize they have no control over them, over someone like her, over their career, it irks them. And it goes to show that true artists do them, and y'all can talk as much as y'all want to talk. She says, as long as my fans are happy and I'm in my bag, like we just gonna let y'all talk. You'd be surprised how this little girl, Onika Tanya Mirage from Southside Jamaica, Queens, make people feel. So someone asked if we'll be getting more magazine covers soon. And she says, yep, I'm shooting one right now, which I think she's shooting. So she goes on to stay on this point about like criticism. And so she says, when you see dumb people writing shit about they're a part of things in groups where they have to say certain things about certain people. Pink Friday ended up being the album that launched a career that is still standing the test of time. So thank God I didn't listen to nobody but Onika. Thank God I trust my gut, and thank God that no one else can do it like me. But here's the thing, and if you saw my video like on Cardi earlier this week, I hate to bring her up because I don't like when I bring other artists up, it's really not about the beef. It's really about trying to understand what is true artistry. And it's like you got one person over here who is dictated by what they think the world wants and what their team wants around them, and then you have another artist like Nicki who has a strong vision and is getting everyone to follow along, which is how it should be going. So then she goes on the song Break and played Red Ruby, and she wanted to say that the Barbz are in a celebratory moment and having fun, being elated and excited, and so is Mother. And if there's anything you see taking your attention away from that, it is purposely being done. When it happens, you'll see the moles in our fan base reacting to certain things. It's just dumb. Take mental notes to the people who divert attention into insignificant nonsense. We over here popping PUSSY, smiling. And she says, before I give out any more prizes, I'm gonna get them up out of here, when you're really focused so we can see clear. So then she reads a tweet from another fan page that says like, oh, Nicki said that she recorded Big Difference while she was pregnant. So she clocks them. She says, look at you thirsting for a moment. She says, I said around that time. And Nicki's making a point as to like, if I wanted to say I recorded the song while I was pregnant, I would have said that. I choose my words very carefully and I know how I want to express myself. And what really sucks is because she started out this point of criticism talking about like publications and journalists and stuff like that. But when these type of annoying things happen from your own fan pages, from in our fan base, it's just very disappointing, and it's honestly very disrespectful and careless, because she constantly talks about like, stop taking things that she's saying and making a headline out of it. She coined another phrase called headline barbs, and there's several accounts out there who consistently say, oh, Nicki Minaj has revealed she is shooting an album cover. Nicki Minaj has revealed that she recorded this song while she's pregnant. And it's like, that's not what she actually said, but you're trying to, get engagements and get attention off of what she said. Anyway, so she asked the person to delete that tweet. So please stop doing that, and please listen to what Nicki is saying, Yeah. So then, it's time for her to eat, in the background, and you can hear her team in the background. They're working, and we can also hear Papa Bear in the background this whole time. So then she's telling them, I don't want any pizza or Popeyes. I usually have salmon or grilled chicken. I had salmon last week, so I was like, okay, Nicki, we twins. So then she muted, to talk to her team to kind of get things in order. She said, I'm about to have to go. So she played Last Time I Saw You, the original and the sped up version. And so she came back to tell us that today is another day filled with gratitude. It's just been one after the next amazing blessing. And she says, I cannot wait to discuss it with you. I told y'all we were going to stay in Gag City. You ain't seen nothing yet. Y'all have been telling me Big Difference has been uploaded to Spotify and Apple Music illegally, because there is only a 1-minute snippet on YouTube, which is the only place that you guys should be listening to the snippet, and on TikTok. Anywhere else is illegal right now. So whoever did that is about to, get that taken down. She said there was one other thing she wanted to tell us, but she couldn't remember at the moment. So she says, gives us our affirmations, saying that you are epic, beautiful, worthy of love, true love, real love, and attention. You are worthy of being nurtured and caressed. She says, you never know what surprises you'll get. All you know is that we are staying in Gag Central. Okay, so that was really it for this episode of, well, she didn't say it was Queen Radio, but yeah, that was it. So I'm gonna leave you guys with other videos that I created this week, which we talked about the VMA's pink carpet and the fashion, so definitely go check that out. I'll leave the links down below, and then a general reaction to Nicki on the VMAs, and then exactly how much everything she wore on the VMAs and how much it costs, and then an in-depth critique of her performance. So I'll leave all those videos down below, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Please like the video.